Hello, everybody, and this is Slendy Slack, and this is it. I understand now. I've seen it. I needed to do a better video, of course. I realize this, but here it is. No cough, no rambling. Well, I can't promise you that. What I can promise you is this will be my thorough analysis. I can't get everything analyzed my first time, first couple times watching it. It's always a process of me coming back to it. I start to see a lot of things, and I might cut out, so it doesn't get rambly, but here I'm going to just give all my opinions, all my facts, all my thoughts. I hope that you will watch this, share it with other people. I don't watch a lot of other theory videos because I like to be influenced by myself, basically. So, without further ado, I'm just gonna go through as much as I can and just talk. Let's begin. Stocks flying high, the right wing. So at first glance here, you could see that their article here on the right wing could be slamming that, although it's pretty illegible. And this is just how things really started out. And they give you a great touch of the setting, but everything is just kind of quiet until the teacher gets things rolling along.
What's your favorite idea? Mine is being creative.
How do you get that idea?
I just tried to think creatively. Now when you look at this orange, tell me please, what do you see?
It's just a boring old orange.
Now, I'm pretty sure we all know how things go from here, but I mean, it's just Notepad. What is our Notepad? Our Notepad is our teacher, and they're going to teach these puppets about creativity, or, that's it. That's your lesson. That's what this comes across as at first. And the Notepad isn't aggressive. No, it's not aggressive. And it's very passive towards them. But it does what it can to get them to think the way that it wants them to. Influences here, it's showing them something that's interesting. This part is definitely interesting.
To express myself,
That sounds really boring.
I use my hair to express myself.
Now, that is her turning him down, but in a polite way. She does not yell, but she just simply repeats herself more pronouncedly. So, basically trying to get him to know it doesn't really approve of what he said, but it doesn't attack him. It just keeps going with what it's trying to do, showing them what it wants them to see, and that can definitely be shown here when they're all looking at the clouds. And it's literally like that magnifying glass. It's just showing them how things are within the confines of the way you're supposed to think about creativity. This is one of my favorite parts right here. It's flat out saying he made something original. He made something creative, but still it gets dumped on. And the reason for that is because one could only assume that it was not within the boundaries or the guidelines of how this notepad wants everything to be. Think of the way that people make art, and sometimes people will make art that is offensive, and because of that, it gets slammed because it's not normal, or it's not in the social conformity, the realms of social conformity, I should say. social conformity in itself is just the idea that people should conform and we should all think the same way socially. It's so widely influenced because so many people do so many different things. But I mean, if we didn't follow social conformity, I'm pretty sure we'd all be walking around naked anyways, right? Wearing clothes, what the media tells us to how to think. This is a perfect example of the media telling you the way you should think. Like green is not a creative color. I mean, that's only because it says it's not. Doesn't mean it is. And then we get to the biggest part. And I think the biggest part about this video, and I'm not going to dwell too much into it because this video is already pretty much analyzed here, but I think it can best be summed up with conformity crushes individuality. Individuality, what makes you special, what makes you creative. And it's shut down by the idea of conforming to how the world or how a person wants you to think. And you can clearly see that the notepad is definitely the symbol of social conformity here. And what happens is they get bigger. And of course, I'm sure you've heard a lot of people discuss this, but they're as if they're adults now. What they do is they take the young minds because they're most easy to influence. And so the notepad was telling them all these things, and it's about the equivalent of taking someone like that and raising them within the confines of, like, the notepad's teaching. Wanting somebody to grow and develop using what you think they should be. So obviously they're grown up and very heavily influenced by what they have learned from the notebook here. And now most people, what they do is when they have their individuality suppressed like that or turned down, especially when you're young, I'm assuming that you just don't know how to control it. And it can lead to chaos. Controlled individuality like that, conformity, molding someone like that and keeping them from being themselves and trying to get them to follow your ideas. They could grow up and suddenly they have all this freedom and they don't know quite what to do with it because they were taught within your confines of what you wanted them to think. And so basically, that's it. It's just chaos. Chaos ensues. And the whole June 19 thing and the fact that the cameras were in that video is something that I will definitely get to. But moving on, that's basically it. I know that might have been a little weirdly worded, but that's it. Individuality is crushed by conformity, and that's the whole idea of the notepad there. And now we have time.
Come on, guys, stop mucking around. We only have 5 minutes until our show's on.
That's not enough time!
There's always time for a song.
What? Who is that?
Time is a tool you can put on the wall or wear it on
Everyone's
your wrist.
attention
The
here
past is far behind.
is directed to the clock because he just showed out of nowhere. And I suppose he's the next teacher, just kind of interrupted what they were doing. And that's what a lot of the teachers do, will interrupt what they're doing, regardless of whether they wanted it or not. It's a little weird here how he says the future doesn't exist. And this is probably an important theme. And what he says is going to connect to the whole idea of everything in these videos, or what I'm going to say is the lore or the story. But I think there's an importance behind the past being far behind them and the future not existing.
Don't exist. Now, what's the time? It's 9:45. Time.
It's funny because, well, I may as well just say it now, but there's definitely a reason why the date never changes and everything takes place in the same day at the same time.
Time is a ruler to measure the day.
And here he's saying that you should follow time as if it were a ruler. You know, things in your day are all plotted out with course of time. You know, whether you go, where you have to eat, where you have to go, when you have to go to sleep, when you have to go to your job.
So fast like a merry-go-round.
That can be a bit overwhelming. But definitely, if the date never changes and the past is always behind you, then there's definitely something wrong. The future doesn't exist. The date never changes. It's as if they're stuck at one point in time.
Don't be stupid, friends. Come on,
There was a
it's
past,
time
but
to
there's
climb
not a
on
future.
like Victorian time. With cobbles and plague and speaking in rhyme.
I'm not sure the purpose of this, other than to show them the examples of the past, with this thrown in. And there's a lot of times where they'll throw in this random element, as if just to, I guess, to express their individuality. There you go. They don't have to even conform to the idea that every video they make have to make sense.
The tree that is old has circles inside. The tree that is older has shriveled and died.
The apple that's fresh is ripe to the core.
And I rot over time and I'm not.
And here they're just exploring the macabre elements of time.
Time flies fast when you're having fun. There's a time and a place for mucking around.
Like
And
birthdays.
camping.
I'm friends with my dad.
There. Now he's saying time is important and time can't be wasted. That's the big theme of this, is time is very important, but it can't be wasted. It's that important to your daily lives. And here's Roy. I know he has a name now, and you all told me a lot about him, and I believe that he definitely has ties with the grand scheme of things. I'm not sure how, but I'll definitely come back to him. He doesn't really say much, he's just kind of there.
And what happened after the olden days.
Time went new and got old like history. Stuff from the past went into a mystery.
An old man
But
died.
look, a computer. Everything's cool. It's the future.
Yeah, basically saying whatever was in the past, whether it be good or bad, is going to be overshadowed by the wonderful things in the future.
Is now. The future and you. And look at all the wonderful things you can do with gadgets and gizmos and email addresses.
That's just advertising. That's pretty much what it is. In the future, we have all these new things that we never had before. So it's basically trying to get you to use all of these amazing things. A lot of how advertising works.
My dad is a computer.
Look at the time.
It's 7:45. There's fish on my plate.
There's just... This is definitely a random element. Just fish. I'm not sure if fish is important. I don't know much about it.
Time. It helps us make pizza. It keeps things in line.
But when did it start?
And when will it stop?
Time is important, and I am a clock.
If we run out of time, then where does it go?
Is time even real? Does anyone know?
Maybe time's just a construct of human perception, an illusion created by...
Right there, that's how I feel when, that's how I feel when you tell me I'm wrong. No, just kidding. But there you have one of the puppets trying to explain what time is, trying to come up with a solution. The puppet basically saying, well, time is, you know, it's a made up. It's made up. Basically saying that time is a made up idea, and the clock just says no. No, you're getting a little too smart. That's not the way things are. So when they try to question things for what they really are, they're always shut down. Every single time. Basically just told no, this time in a way more aggressive way.
Changing seasons, the smell of hay. Look at your hair grow, isn't it strange? How time makes your appearance change.
He just lets it happen. He's showing them the very hard truth that if you waste time, this is what happens to you.
Don't worry, I'm sure you'll be fine. But eventually
Everyone runs out of time. So that's a very good reason for it not to be wasted. But now things are replaced with the future, the picture of the future and the eyeball. That's a little weird. I'm not sure how exactly that works other than things just are all in one place at one time. And something changed, and you could say that maybe, well, that eye on the floor in the picture of the future was there after they watched it, as if they were what Inception, watching themselves, trying to watch a show. I don't know. It's just a subtle change. I'm not quite sure what it means. Perhaps maybe to show that time has passed, and since the beginning of the video, maybe, now it's the future, things have changed. I wonder how they can be missing, yet the date never changed. Where are they missing from?
Finally be outside on such a beautiful day.
Yes, and I've packed us a delicious chicken picnic.
For once, they're, out of the house, which is quite a change. Yellow guy, the youngest mind is always the most gullible here. And it's kind of as if the red guy is the oldest, and the bird is the middle-aged one. And you can definitely tell that in their levels of intelligence and how they question things. But the yellow guy here gets very upset because the butterfly was crushed. So I guess he just runs off.
That there's so much hatred in the world.
He's
I
approached
hope you
by
don't mind
this
if I ask you a question.
butterfly.
A little baby pigeon.
Now this butterfly is introducing it's playing off of the fact that he's upset about what he just saw and using it as a way to get his attention. No, you need to be higher quality.
You've no idea, and everywhere you look, all you see is hatred and darkness, death and fear.
Focusing on the bad things, but saying they can change if you follow my ideas.
Cause even though we're different, it doesn't make a difference, and we can live in harmony. I know you don't know who I am, but maybe I could hold your hand, and together we could understand about love.
Huh? I feel
Introducing him to the idea of love and basically showing him
All about it.
that he knows all about love.
And do you ever feel like life's unfair? 'Cause everybody hates you and no one cares. But if you follow me, maybe you will see that love is everywhere.
What is love? Is it in the sky?
No, it's a feeling deep inside.
Because I'm hungry.
No, you're lonely. I can see it in your eyes.
Now, see right there. He did not know that he was lonely until it told him. And it didn't even ask if he was. It just flat out said, you're lonely, I can see it. And so now, he's going to think that he's lonely, he's going to think that he has to follow these ideas to become happy.
I don't understand.
Don't worry, you will soon. Come and meet some of my friends. They know all about love. Come on, just over the rainbow.
Oh, look, there he goes, flying through the sky.
Maybe we should follow him, or we'll get left behind.
I'm not sure where this whole raw chicken idea comes into play, but it's gross.
So here we are with all my friends, and they love you, all of them.
Yes, we do.
It is true.
We love you.
You love us too.
I love you too, furry boy.
Harder.
Now, I want you to think very hard about this. And I know a lot of people say it isn't about religion, but if you look at it, it's a lot like religion. If you look at it from a certain perspective, when people feel like maybe something has happened or someone tells them that they're lonely or they're lonely and they feel bad and someone offers them help, it's as if this butterfly takes them to a group of friends. And you're going to find they're all into the same thing and the same idea, the same way of thinking. And the people, despite how innocent they may look, they're a little odd. Especially you can tell with that and the furry animal there. They're odd. They're not quite right.
Now we've eaten the chicken, I don't know what to do.
Maybe we should look for our friend. Isn't that what friends do? And we have finished the chicken picnic.
To love each other is to care, to be kind.
And to share. I love my friends, so I give them a hug.
I made this for you because I love you so much.
I love my pet because he's a crab.
I love this tree and I love...
More ideas that these people are just plain odd. But look at here, and I definitely looked over this.
this stick and I love
No,
this
no, no,
mug.
that's not how it's done.
Now, obviously, you could take this as, oh, he's not loving what he wants him to do, so he's putting him down. But actually, I just realized, well, there are people out there, I think they're pantheists, that see love and spiritual relevance in nature, which is kind of what he was doing there. And, love the tree, love the stick, he can see love in other things. However, this butterfly only wants him to see love directed towards one person or one idea.
You must save your love for your special one.
My special one?
Everyone has a special one.
Even me? But I am lonely.
Yes, it's true, but do not worry. You're confused, but that's okay. Let me put it another way.
This is the story of Michael.
The story of Michael made no sense to me, but the only factor I could find out is putting in the religion. And I know a lot of people say you're never truly alone when you have God. And it's clearly that Michael doesn't really have anyone, and he's sad, but he does have someone.
Even Michael!
Your heart beats hard like a big love drum, calling for your special one.
So be patient, because just maybe
Your special one will come.
He's made for her.
And she's made for him.
that's the way it's always been.
Now this part is just, you can still tell it's not as obvious, but things are awkward and creepy with that. I don't know why. It's just the puppets of the people is a little odd with them hanging from the trees, but it really emphasizes that traditional marriage here and the idea of traditional marriage, which is largely associated with religion. Just saying, most likely Christianity, and you'll know that Christianity's changed a lot. But I'm just going to say that a lot of what's in this video might have to do with the ideas of Christianity or similar to it. But anyways, here you go in the idea of traditional marriage and saying that it is the only love, and it is the perfect love and the purest love, even though it's a little macabre here with the tombstones. That's the way it's always been and always going to be.
It's perfect.
And it's pure.
And it's protected with a ring.
That's the way that all love goes. Like a flower, it grows and grows.
And it's forever.
And forever!
And now we all worship our king.
I'm sure. I don't really have to say this much. This is pretty obvious. With the the crown there, and it's the Lord and Savior. Correction, it's their Lord and Savior, the King of Love, Malcolm. That's the center of their religion, the one they should worship, the one they should give to.
His name is Malcolm.
He is the king of love.
We must feed him.
Notice his dad's there, but also everyone's wearing the garments, kind of like the churchly, the holy garments, you could say. It's like a cult, I'd say. That's what I always call it, the cult of love. Basically forcing him into this idea that he needs to follow these values and he needs to stick with his friends there who are all into the same idea. And he's basically caught into this.
We must feed him gravel.
Or he becomes angry. And this is your...
I guess saying that if you don't follow this cult, or if you don't follow the ideas, your God could become angry with you. And the notepad and the clock are there, and they're always very prominent because I guess they're the teachers previously, but the love cult is always saying here that there are all these people that care about you, and perhaps that you're not alone here, and there are lots of other people who believe in this idea, and perhaps there's meaning behind the notepad and the clock and the dad being there. All people that he knew may be saying, there's people that you know that are also here with us, even the red guy. Although, are they actually there? I'm just going to go ahead and say probably not, since this basically is proven to be a dream, but there are other things that are a dream, too.
Chance to start anew, and all we're asking you to do
is change your name.
Clean your brain.
forget about anything you ever knew.
And your heart will find its home.
And now he's stuck. He's really caught in this. He can't get out. He's basically devoted his individuality. He's devoted his individuality to this cult and their ideas. So much that they're going to take away what makes him unique and just make him like everyone else in this cult.
And our love will never go.
Now wear this ring
And join the king.
and you will never be alone.
This part is all about showing, I guess, the real message. What the real message should be is you don't have to love just one person. You should love, you can love nature. You can love your friends and your family. It matters that you don't have to love just one thing or, save your love. Whatever they were trying to get across there. And that be... Pesky bee. That is all. I don't know. It's just a larva. I really can't tell you. I'd like to hear somebody tell me maybe some way it makes sense. I don't know. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about this because I made a separate video about this, and you should check it out. But it's definitely worth me mentioning anyways. I was sitting around asking questions about the biggest thing in the world, and oh, look, on the milk carton. They're still missing. Right. Now, how long have they been missing, really? I really don't think they're, just because they went outside for one day, they're missing from their home. They might be missing from somewhere else. Perhaps it's outside influence coming in. But still, in the last video, 1906, the June 6th, it's everywhere. It's just June 19th, spilled everywhere. And it's for a reason, and I think that reason is to show that time never is changing. And so they really are striving to find an answer to the question, and so they sit around and wait for somebody to help them, because that's what they do. And Roy's number is above the globe there on the board. The dad, he's just always there, but why would his number be there? That's a little oddly specific. And the picture of him, too. So they wait for this globe to tell them this answer, because that's what they're used to, is getting the answer from someone else. But at least when you're looking up the answer like that on the globe, you actually have to figure it out, and, you're using your brain.
Wow, look.
I'm a computer. I'm a computery guy. Everything made out of buttons and wires. I'd like to show you inside my digital life. Inside my mind there is a digital mind.
I really like the computer. Yeah, but basically this computer isn't very smart, as it may say it is, but it's getting their attention and basically saying, look at me, whoopee-doo, wowza, I'm cool. I guess it hasn't really said anything yet about what it can do. It's just basically showing it's neat. Grab your attention. Look at it. It's a computer. They're not used to seeing something like that. Now the digital mind here, said that maybe the fact, this is like its real brain, like it's not really smart. It's only a means of storing information. The computer itself isn't really intelligent. It doesn't really have the intelligence to think through and actually give you the answer. It's merely a way to store information, and it will give you the answer. It doesn't really have a brain. It doesn't have a real brain. I never saw it. Okay, so the brain on the screen, it's saying it has like a human brain, but really, that's all it is, that glob. It's, computer can't have a human brain. It can't think like we can. And it just can't.
Oh, maybe you could help us answer this question. What is the biggest
Clever. I'm very clever guy.
Wow.
Count to a 50 in the blink of my eye and print a picture. And then I tell you the time. Help you to find something you're wanting to find.
I really love the computer's little lesson. I think it's awesome. Anyway, 19th of June, oats. Oats, I don't know. It's another random element. I can look for deep meaning in it. I think the Greeks said something about oats. Oh, what, damn it. Life? Natural? I guess it's natural. And it's healthy, I guess. That's all I can really say. I mean, nothing about these lessons or the computer itself is healthy and natural. You're not really learning or growing from this experience. The oats, other than that, I don't know. OTAs? I've seen plenty of people talking about that, the OTAs, but besides that, just another random element. It's up to you. What do you think it means? And the green puppet there remembers time. That's interesting, that it can vaguely remember. You'll see that they can't quite remember everything, but they can remember some things. It's kind of odd. Why can't they remember?
No, it's easy to be a clever, smart boy like me if you just do it all digitally.
Wow, I'd like to be as smart as a computer.
Great news.
Now, I talked about this, but the computer there, it interrupts and it ignores. It doesn't cooperate or it doesn't acknowledge the puppets, really. It's just more focused on giving its lesson here and its information. If there's something else, it doesn't matter. He's the main focus right now. And the vision the yellow puppet has, of course, he's really amazing. He wants to be smart as a computer, but it's only a way of storing information. You like that morbid picture. You'd have the big brain, really, but you wouldn't be very socially interactive. I mean, people like that, where they could only, correct you or give information, whether it be true or false, they wouldn't really fit in with society.
Before we begin our journey, I just need to get some information from you.
That sounds familiar. Computers are always asking you for your information. They want to get personal with you, whether that be because a hacker wants to steal your credit card number, or it just wants to send you pesky emails. It always has to be a little something personal. A lot of social media websites like to have your personal information. Whether some people feel comfortable with sharing it or not, it seems that computers always like to know more about you. Maybe it's because they want to become more like you, and they want to take over the world. Probably not.
What's your name? Where do you live? What do you like to eat?
I live in my house.
Spaghetti!
Well, my name is
Great news!
And more oats. And great news, let's interrupt you some more. But I got tons more questions to ask before we can really get to the good part, which it's happened to me a couple times before when I want to make an order, or maybe when I want to make an account on a website or something. It's just, sometimes it seems like it takes forever just to get there, because you have to answer so many stupid questions.
Now just a few more questions and we'll be on our way.
Wait a second.
What's your favourite colour?
Stop
Do you
talking.
like cows or goat's
Milk.
milk?
Be
Do you
quiet.
have brown hair? What is your blood type? Are you allergic
Shut
to
up!
Don't touch me!
Now the computer isn't very hostile, but the red guy's really not impressed right now with anything the computer can do. He knows that it's not very intelligent or special. He just wants his question answered, but it's not really complying with him, and so he just shut up, basically. And the computer doesn't take it too well. It doesn't hurt him exactly, unless being sucked into the digital world is painful. And I don't know.
What?
Glitches. Error.
Welcome to my digital home. Everything made out of numbers and code.
I always love this part. It's kind of cool. It's really showing you the CGI, computer-generated images here. You're in the computer. And I don't know. I just find it kind of cool that he's walking through his innards there, walking in the digital world and showing you how cool it is. I think it's kind of a neat little image of just him walking with him behind them, introducing them to this vast array of numbers and code and wonderful things.
Wow, we're all computery.
Oh yeah, wow, because of the computer.
The concept is interesting to the other ones because they're perhaps not as intelligent, but to this red guy, he just, Harry, he doesn't like anything.
I don't get it. How can it be if I'm sitting at home but I'm inside the screen?
But you're not you. You're your digital you. Virtually real, but controlled by real you.
Right. So I said before that this might be the concept of abusing a digital persona and, the glory of being anonymous on the internet, but it's just the theme of that, who you are on the internet is not really you. I know you might like to say that you're OC, your persona, your personal character, he's 9 foot tall and has swords and angel wings and he's awesome, And people will be like, wow, that's cool, but that really isn't you, even if you put all your personal information on the internet, it's still not really you. Of course, you can't make yourself in a computer. It's just hard to explain, me, in the flesh, individual, that's me. And no matter how realistic you make myself look on the computer, it's not the real you, it's the digital you.
If he's not quite real, then I'm not real too. And you're not real you is inside your real you.
Oh wow, how amazing and interesting too. But in this digital world, what can we do?
Oh, references. Yes, I know the notepad is in the second one, so this is way too late to bring this up. And the Malcolm, I know you want me to point out those little things, but yeah, the picture of the clown is all over the place. I guess because the individuality being crushed by conformity, that's an important symbol, and the clown painting definitely represented that. You'll see that all over the place. And the clock and the notepad always show up, because, hey, they're the teachers, and they're the ones who are like, hey, come here. And I'll teach you about something cool. That's basically.
What can we do?
Hey, good question. Well, it's up to you. In the digital world, there's over 3 things to do.
Okay, I'll do my best right here. What I said before. Door 3 is entertainment and goofing off, using the computer for things other than information. And door 1 is information. Door 1 is the educational uses, the graphs, the charts, the things that people don't really use. Microsoft Excel. Does anyone use that? Does anyone really use Microsoft Excel? No. Do they play video games? Oh yeah. That could be categorized under fun. Watching videos, listening to music, that's all fun stuff. Door 2, I think, is either shopping or, photographs and personalization. I guess it's digital style. I guess it's, maybe personalizing a website or, as I said, shopping or pictures and stuff. Art? Maybe. That kind of stuff. The in-between.
Wow, look, a pie chart.
Digital style.
Do a digital dancing. Hey, this is fun.
Wow, look, a bar graph.
Digital style.
Do a digital dancing. Hey, this is fun.
Wow, look, a line graph.
Digital style.
Do a digital dancing.
And then this gets repetitive, and then the first door will have nothing in it, and you'll start to see the puppets are starting to move over to the third door. Why? Because they're more interested in having fun than answering questions or, using it for informational purposes. No one wants to do that. No one wants it. It's just chaos. It is chaos. Absolute chaos. And the dad is in the corner. He's there. He was in the other one, and he's always there. Same with his number being there, the picture of him being there. And I think possibly, well, I'll get to that later, but possibly he's got something to do with it. I mean, he's there watching, even though he's not moving. They could have just stuck him there as an Easter egg. And they might be doing that just for fun, really. There probably isn't a meaning to it, but he's there. I see him. Roy Gibberson, whatever his name is. So the red guy is just, he's the only one who hasn't been sucked in yet. Time has passed and he's still sitting there, and his other two friends have been sucked into the digital world, and he's trying to stop it. And his friends will show up, the blocky versions of their former selves there. They're all pixelated because they're all digital. Now, he's walked into another room of the studio where they're filming another episode. And they take him out of the show, but they do not kill him. He is not dead. It is clearly shown in the fifth one. He's walked in. Now, I said that, a theory may be he's spent so much time in this digital world that things in the real world have become so dismal to him now, or he's not supposed to be here. Things are just not... He's become too advanced. I don't know. But I'm thinking, yeah, that's pretty complex and complicated. More along the lines of he's walked in somewhere he's not supposed to be, perhaps because he got too smart. He walked out of the lesson, and they're going to take him out, but he's going to wake up. He's going to realize he's got to get out of this world. This isn't a world where he can live, where individuality is crushed by conformity, and he's going to pack his bags and leave.
You are not invited to the party.
Wait, what?
And here we toy with the memory thing. For some reason, these puppets cannot remember who they are. No, just kidding. Amnesia! No, they know who they are, but they can't seem to realize that their friend isn't there. Has time passed? Well, yeah. Mousehole's still in the house, as it always is. Or actually, is the mousehole? Looks like just Ratty is there. The Ratty dish. Well, June 19th. It's still June 19th. Really? Wow, what a long day for it to be June 19th. Odd. The computer is there, so obviously the things in the past have happened and registered. But why can't they seem to remember that their friend is gone? Here in a new part of the house, I mean, the fridge was in the first episode, but they like to switch things around, and I like that. Pretty big house, though. A little more to illusion that things aren't right here. Little things are always brought back, however the layout and everything changes. Little things like the pictures and stuff, they stay, but it seems this house must be really huge, or maybe something else. So here's the picture. The red guy is no longer there because he is out of the show, but he is definitely still here. He's probably outside the studio. They can't seem to remember much. And obviously the foreshadowing of the death, with the bird with the X's over the eyes. I explained that last time. The oats is still there.
Fish and chips. Steak and beef. Chicken chow. Grapes and eggs. Steak, eggs.
Okay, now, Yellow Guys obviously has his attention drawn to these fantastical dancing foods. I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about the Healthy Band itself. What do I think of the Healthy Band? Well, I think the teachers have gotten stupider. At least the teachers before could, stick to a guideline and not contradict themselves and not act stupid and, get across what they want in a respectable way. I don't know. It seems like they're just goofy. I like the Healthy Band. Actually, I've actually grown to like them as one of my favorite characters in all of them. But they have that just they're weird and they're not quite right. And I think it's just because they're dumber and they're made to appeal to a younger audience, like the Yellow Guy. And I think that's basically it. You'll see in the way they act what I mean. They're just they seem like very dumbed down, and if all they have to do is, oh, look, I'm flashy, look at me.
You look to be a bit hungry.
No.
Do, 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 do. Lots of people get hungry.
That's your body. Hungry comes from your body.
Get off me.
But your body, it must have to be healthy.
They don't teach good morals, and they definitely sing off-key. They're just not all they're cracked up to be, really.
What's that? A tasty snack.
Now notice this. Roy's flour, Roy's health juice. Why does Roy's name continue to be on anything? And that sticky note from the last video is now on the refrigerator. A lot of things in the kitchen here are labeled Roy. Just odd.
You wanna go and eat a snack like that?
Greedy to eat all that, you'll end up with your teeth all grey.
Do, 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 do.
Do, 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 do.
Yeah, the bird is kind of freaked out by what's going on right now. And he's not as intrigued to the Healthy Band as the Yellow Puppet is.
Do it healthy.
Food is talking.
What? Let's get healthy now.
Now their reaction here to the phone ringing is obviously like, hey, we were going to teach a lesson, what's going on? As if they weren't aware this was going to happen. They look surprised, as if they weren't expecting this to happen.
Hello?
And here's my theory, my big theory, that I'm finally getting to, okay? They are stuck somewhere in this studio. Whether they were taken against their will there, or whether they volunteered to be a part of the show, but it is all some sort of odd dream. Now, I'm not going to the whole, it's a dream theory, but it's definitely not real. It's not real. And when the red guy finally woke up, he was released from wherever he was and left. He's no longer there. I mean, you'll see him in this episode, of course, his head in the microwave, or he's standing there, but he's really just, like I said, he's on the outside looking in, because he's not there anymore. He's simply trying to help wake them up, to get them out of this insane world that they're in, and this world is the show. The date never changes, the sets, you can obviously tell in this episode that it's a set, it's not a real place. And all these weird things can be explained by that. They're all part of the production. And right here, the bird I think is in a separate room, but you can definitely tell what's going on. There's a TV screen showing what just happened and what's about to happen. Because he's watching what they're doing in his mind or in the world, whatever made-up world, whether it be dream, whether it be hooked up or connected. They're definitely connected, these two worlds. But he's definitely in a different world right now, prepared to be operated on.
What's right from wrong? body is like a special house with blood, hair, and organs.
And the red guy is on the outside looking in. Look, there he is. Oh!
In the different rooms. Oh look, there's Mr.
Mr.
Bladder
Bladder
in the basement. What? Now food comes in through the chimney, mouth, and goes from room to room, greeting the different organs.
Hello.
Yeah, look, he thinks this is all neat, and the green guy's just like, well, this is a morbid piece of crap that doesn't make sense.
Now, the good healthy food is very nice and polite.
I already explained this. Some people told me that bread isn't very healthy, but, no, I saw it was an okay, it's not that unhealthy. I guess you could say pizza is, but I mean, the fact is they're showing the wrong foods. They're saying bad foods can stay, but good foods are really the bad ones, carrots and eggs, they're healthy for you, but they're bad. They're rude to your body, so they must leave through the cat flap.
That doesn't make sense.
Wow, this probably isn't the first time he's been shut up for trying to make sense of something.
Do be healthy.
To sing off here. So he answers the phone.
What's that? A tasty snack? You don't want to go and eat it.
This is more signs that things are wrong. The two worlds are definitely messing up. He didn't wake up this time, but instead he's back in the kitchen. They're repeating themselves, but things are different, you'll notice. The phone turning into a sandwich. It's just odd things are happening in this made-up world that they're in.
Snack like that?
Greedy, to eat all that, you'll end up with your gums all grey.
Gums all grey. Yeah, some people told me that the thing with your teeth and gums going gray is malnutrition. I'll go with that. I just thought, teeth normally rot or they get yellow or black. I'm not sure what the whole gray thing is, but it definitely fits in with the bland thing because I may not have touched upon it, or maybe I did, but the whole theme of this is the media is feeding you crap. That's what it is. The media is feeding you crap. That's a pretty good metaphor. It's about what this episode is.
But something
And the red guy's watching him through the spaghetti.
wrong.
Exactly. How do we know which ones are the healthy foods to
Exactly. Let's ignore you and continue our lesson even though you're horrified by it.
eat?
Well, that's easy. The food groups can easily be sorted using
That's not a simple health shape. There's a cigarette. There's the can with the dead bird that's gonna... We went through this.
the simple health shape. Choosing normal, plain-looking foods.
Yeah, choosing normal, plain, bland programming like the stuff that we're subjecting you to will keep you good. It's like a little less on the individuality, but definitely a lot on the conforming. And it's the metaphor not just for the foods they want you to eat, but the stuff they want you to watch and the way they want you to think.
Just bread, cream, white sauce, and aspic.
I explained in my other analysis video what aspic is. It's gelatin meat. All these foods, something they have in common. They're not nutritious. They're pretty bland, non-savory.
Keep the body ticking over just nicely.
Oh, but they're good. They're good for you. They keep everything going just nicely until people question.
Isn't that right?
I need to go.
Oh, wait!
They're not letting him leave, though.
What's this?
Fancy show-offy foods like cooked meats, fruit salad, soil foods, and yolk.
Obviously, foods that are all really good for you.
Ugh!
These foods will clog up the body with unnecessary detail. Oh no, look, it's all broken and on the floor.
There's your extreme disregard for other people's well-being, meat man. That's not how a teacher should act.
Everything tastes great, but maybe we should...
Oh, this fridge, and the Roy's note is on the fridge, but boy, this fridge, he just wants to jam out, and he wants to teach you more about food in a dopey way, but the green guys just have it. He's like, I don't like this. This is making me uncomfortable, irritated, it's stupid.
Before we
No!
put it on the plate, or it could be too late.
Oh, and there's the red guys had the microwave. Look, there it is, everybody. There it is. You wanted me to see it. I see it with my plain eyes. I may have missed it the first time, but wow, there it is. There it is. I see it. I realize it's important, but it's literally just the outside looking in thing. Or it's just a random detail. I don't see what about it. I mean, the red guy's all over the place because he's watching. It's because he has such a strong influence on the bird guy and perhaps the show itself that he's starting to show from the outside in. He's having an influence on what's going on. And this phrase is terrifying. And Roy is there. I know you want me to get him.
The play, or it could be too late.
Alright, you'll see him there in the middle. I've seen him clearly there before. But yeah, that's the other thing you guys really wanted me to see. And he's there. I see him. And this is why I'm saying maybe in this grand scheme of things, perhaps he has something to do with the production. Or perhaps they're in his house. I mean, it's not a real house, obviously. It's too complex and changing so often to be a real house. But it's definitely this father's house. And what the father might represent, he might be the master, you know. I'm the master and you will obey. He could be the master behind everything. Or he could just be an Easter egg they like to put in. But he could have a big role. And I'm curious to have you guys, once again, you know, make me smart, Miss MRT, and fill me in on what you think he is. But I definitely understand his prominent role now. He's everywhere, and his details are left around on the sets. So perhaps those are clues. And red guy's there, obviously. Bird wakes up again. And these cans, I could say, represent the producers, the directors, set hands, people that help make the show. You know, and they're big and they're overpowering, and they're going to finally be the first teacher to directly kill one of the puppets. Because they realized when he stopped there, he stopped to participate, he flipped the camera, he's jeopardizing the production too much, and therefore he needs to be woken up, taken out of his state, and they were plotting probably since early in the video that he needs to go. Because he showed clear signs from the beginning that he wasn't going to participate in the lesson anymore.
Guys, but you're better off with plain white sauce.
What's that? Plain white sauce? Plain white sauce makes your teeth go grey.
And they're going to keep contradicting themselves here, and the yellow guy's too dumb to even care.
Doesn't matter, just throw it away.
Yep. A little metaphor here, or, you know, doesn't matter, just throw it away. So it's like, well, we've lost a person. Well, it doesn't matter, throw him away, kill him, and why not eat him?
Hey, why not try something else on your tray?
He points to the microwave, which has got the can in it. This is the line or the correlation between this made-up show world and the real world that the bird is in. Because that can probably represents him in that room or him about to get operated on. I mean, his organs are going to be stored into that can. And that can is the same can as the one that is eating him at this very moment. This, you know, the big can, it's in the other world, it's literally storing the bird's organs inside it, and it's happening in this fake production world too. And the healthy band is starting to lean towards this idea to the yellow guy, or lean towards this action that they're going to feed him this bird.
Oh, what's that? A lovely pie? But you're gonna end up sad inside.
Sad inside, that's definitely just a reference to what is gonna happen next. You're gonna make me sick. Ugh. What? They said something about making your teeth go... I can't hear what they're saying in the background, but here you go, organ eating. Oh, he does say kidney spleen. While they're removing the organs, the spinach can is saying kidney spleen. You can't eat kidney spleen, which is funny because they're eating organs. Yep, there you go. Evisceration.
Everyone has the teeth go great. Just eat yeast and it'll go away.
But how much have you had today?
I guess you could say the kidney spleen and them starting to point at the microwave, you know, they're subtly going to reference that idea of cannibalism here.
Too much yeast makes your teeth go gray.
Contradicting themselves. It really, the lesson isn't starting to make sense anymore. Okay, he does say look like fun. I realize this now. Doesn't say look like blood, but my thought still stands here when the stakes is that wasn't onion paste, and the yellow guy's reaction to being fed that is the spinach can just fed him part of the bird. I'm serious. That's got to be it.
That wasn't onion paste. You shouldn't eat food from a stranger's plate. 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 Stranger's plate.
You could see the can, the expiration date, June 19th. That's the same reason everything has June 19th, because it all happens in that world. June 19th is the day that every single one of these lessons takes place, because it's the day that it always is in these productions. And you could see the blood, you know, what was happening to the bird was having an effect on what was happening in the show there, with the red steam coming out of the microwave to symbolize the blood. And much like in the first video, you know, the teachers, instead of the students this time, they just go wild. And between what's about to happen next and what everything that just happened, they fed him the bird. I mean, you don't see it, but it's implied, you know, probably in the rush of everything, or the excitement, using fear maybe as a control mechanism here. They just made him eat it, probably. Made him eat it. And the stranger's plate metaphor, it might be don't take advice from someone you're not familiar with. Don't eat something that's given to you by these kooks. I really would like to know more about the stranger's plate, maybe. Stranger's plate, don't listen to ideas. Don't listen to the media, maybe? There could be a lot of reasons behind that, but it definitely, if they're going to bother with that repetition and just slam it over and over again, there's got to be some meaning behind it. And here is the yellow guy, and he's eaten the bird here, and he's the only one left. He was the most gullible, the most susceptible to losing his individuality and conforming to all these horrible lessons, which never teach you anything, make you a worse person. This didn't make you healthy at all. And the red guy's going to try and call him and save him, but he's too doped up to even bother or listen. And there's this whole idea since the beginning, and I think it's very clear now that I've explained. These are all my opinions. These are all my theories. There's definitely two different worlds here. There's two different places. One in which the reality, and then there's the reality, or the world in which the show is produced. And the bird is dead in the show because he left, and dead in reality, and the red guy couldn't save him. You can see the red guy with the suitcase here leaving the phone booth. He was trying to call, and he can't be there. So once he woke up, and he's decided he's going to leave, and that's what's happening. And the yellow guy's the only one left. I'd like to see him wake up and maybe escape. I'd like to see him do it. Maybe in the next one they run through the studio or whatever they're being held. They're being held captive somewhere, and they're stuck in this dream-like state. I don't know if it's really a dream. I know because the yellow guy had the dream. The third one is like a dream within a dream, but in the second one, it has them watching themselves on the TV. But really, anything can happen in this bizarre world of conformity and conditioning. This show was made to condition people to think a certain way, and the puppets, you know, some of them will fight it, and some of them will take themselves and leave like the red guy has, and some will fall victim like the green guy did and the yellow guy now. He's just stuck like this. So I hope that you enjoyed this analysis. Maybe it was better, maybe it was worse. I know it's ramble, but these are my opinions, these are my thoughts, and hopefully this is a more idea. That's basically my mega theory that I really thought was important, but it just dawned on me. This can't all be taking place in the same place at the same time, and they're held together, and a lot of good stories do have that twist where what you're seeing is not reality, and these lessons is not reality. It's a show. It's being filmed. The sets aren't real, and the puppets are probably drugged or done something so that they'll keep coming back. No one in the right mind would be subjected to such awful things and still do another episode. And that might be why they can't remember the red guy that well, is because it's almost as if they've had a memory wipe. Who knows? They don't even know who they are anymore. And so, thank you for watching Yada 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 Black. Blackly Blue. Don't hug me, I'm scared. Can't wait for the next one. I want to see the resolution. And I hope you all leave me wonderful comments this time, because I'm healthy. I'm healthy now.